Who are you? What do you want? Why are you here? Where are you going?
A toast. To absent friends, in memory, still bright. Jakar.
Wando. Anir. Marcus.
For 5 years, you watched the best sci-fi series of the 90s. Now, it all comes down to one final episode. Be there when Sheridan faces his greatest adventure yet, and brace yourself for the ultimate fate of Babylon 5.
Computer, set course.
It's 1 hour you'll never forget. Babylon 5, the final episode. Wednesday, November 25th at 10, only on TNT.
You have transmissions holding.
Patch incoming signal. Full audio and video decode.
Purple files accessed.
What you are about to see has never been shown to anyone outside the Grey Council.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast land. Welcome to Gray 17, a Babylon 5 podcast for the Front Row Network and NPR Illinois Community Voices. We're a group of newbies watching Babylon 5 for the very first time and a bunch of first ones who have watched it way too many times. And we are in the same room. Even Blake flew out.
Hi.
Because we are here to watch and discuss the final episode, Sleepy and Light, season 5, episode 22. I'm Scott, and with me is
Emily, Nicole,
Justin, Kevin, Mike,
Teddy, and fucking Jessi.
Blake.
And for those confused, Teddy is a dog.
We think.
He's a really cute
He
dog.
looks like an Ewok.
He might be a cat.
Just a really hairy
The
cat.
baby's Zathras. Mike presented HR.
Obvious baby Zathras.
He's got big Zathras.
You should have named him Zathras. You fucked up.
Should have, but his name's Ted, so.
Before we get started, I believe Nicole has a synopsis for us. And by the way, if you have not already watched the commentary we put up on YouTube, Nicole did cry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. Okay, so synopsis for Sleeping Light. In the most depressing episode of Babylon 5 I've ever watched, Sheridan dies and gathers all his friends for a party.
After he dies.
Before he dies, he gathers his friends for a party, and then he goes out into space, meets up with an old friend, and then he dies. And it's sad, and it's bullshit. That's your synopsis.
Space Jesus.
Space
Jesus. Now for the counterpoint, can we get Emily's synopsis?
What is your synopsis of Sleeping in Light?
So yeah, kind of what I expected. He died. I mean, I probably should have felt something other than some excitement, happiness.
This
This is your synopsis or your first impression?
This is Emily's favorite episode of the show.
We did say synopsis, but you can do your first impressions. That's fine.
Yeah, he died. There you go. That's my synopsis. I don't know what you want.
Nice.
You asked, what did you expect?
Be sure to project the mic. I think it's fine.
Nope, not happening.
Mike. Don't do this.
Nope, we're going to hide everything I say because
Yes,
no one
you
needs
are.
to hear it.
Excellent. All right, we'll go to our first impressions from our newbies. And Emily already did hers. Nicole has just popped open a tab. So, Nicole.
Okay, so this was really sad. I mean, we obviously knew Sheridan was going to die, and I knew it was coming. I just didn't want to accept it or see it, I guess. I did love the fact that he gathered the crew, those who were still with them. And I do like that instead of being sad, they kind of joked and had a nice dinner. And I don't know, it was sad and beautiful at the same time, if that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely had me in my feels and kind of depressed me a little. That's it.
And now Nicole sitting on the couch with Justin and Emily. I'm not sure if that's a good decision or not. Speaking of Justin, First impressions.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, it was a sad episode. Contrary to what you may have watched on our commentary. It did kind of hit you in the feels a little. Being honest here.
Motherfucking liar.
yeah, sure. Fuck it, was sad. No, but honestly, okay. Hoo-ah, seriousness. Hoo-ah. I thought it was actually a perfectly fitting ending to the series. Although it did kind of, the beginning gave me vibes of like an Agatha Christie kind of murder mystery where everybody receives this strange envelope and they all get together and find out that the guy's dying and now they're trying to figure out who's going to inherit the fortune, which none of that happened in this episode. But that just kind of...
No, clearly not.
But it kind of gave me those kind of vibes at least. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, it was good to see Ivanova come back.
Yep.
You know, fucking love that. And I'm glad that she's got a role in the Alliance going in the future because obviously she hated being in general. So maybe she'll be happy doing this. You know, I love the touching tributes to, you know, Londo, Jakar, and Lanier, you know, those characters that we didn't see pass on, but we find out in the 20 years did kind of pass away. And I thought kind of the, you know, Sheridan going off on his, you know, final joyride kind of by himself and just kind of slip out quietly into the night was kind of really fitting for him. So, you know, I think it's the best episode of the season, but I liked it.
Scott, you look like you're praying make this end.
No. Jessi, how do you feel about the episode?
Well, Sheridan died.
I want this dog.
Kind of happy to get this shit over with.
Jesus.
Ivanova and Butthole.
We've come full circle.
No, all jokes aside, I joked through the fucking thing. It wasn't as sad as it was for Nicole. I'm glad Sheridan's gone and it's moved on. It was nice to see everybody get together. And I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to see Londo and Jakar. So that is it.
And we'll go to our first ones. Mike?
Yeah, honestly, this was a lot better than I remembered it being. I would say as different series that I've watched go, it's really one of the better series finales that I've seen. It is sad. It is kind of triumphant in getting to follow, you know, Sheridan do his, I'm not going to call it a victory lap, but his I don't know, final farewell tour. And it was kind of nice to see that, you know, the characters that were still with them 20 years later all had more or less happy endings. It painted a picture of where things had been and where they were going and, you know, put a nice ribbon really on the whole show. So I quite enjoyed it.
Kevin?
Yeah, it is a good episode. It hits you in the feels.
I think Jessi and
Unless you don't have feels.
Yeah.
And then there's that.
I think
feels are broken.
I thought it was funny.
I think the thing that gets me the most about this is when Ivanova becomes Ranger One and you realize that Marcus lived for the one and died for the one. I think that is really...
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's very poignant.
Yeah, I read that somewhere. I didn't come up with that on my own. But it hits all the notes without getting too sappy, unless your name is Emily. But yeah, it is one of the better season finales. I mean, there's some really, you know, terrible ones out there with, you know, great series, and it's good that this one has a great ending.
So before I jump in here, Justin, is your Agatha Christie murder mystery have to do with the episode of the 124-year-old really fancy house, far fancier than we deserve, we happen to be in for the weekend?
I think it's the whole ambiance, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're kind of, it's the whole setting.
Because we can seriously play Clue in this place. Like, we have a study, a library. Yeah, we got the full set. But this is one of my favorite episodes. I enjoy this one, especially as a series finale. I think it ties everything up nicely, and it really pays tribute to all the characters. We get to see the characters who have survived at this point. We get to tribute to the characters who are no longer part of the show, and it really just ties it up. And this is one of the two episodes where the instructions to the musical score was break them.
Yeah.
And that whole scene when they are leaving B5 and the ships all turn and the reactors go. That was the moment where they really put in there unless you're Emily, in which case you have no feelings, emotions, or maybe not even human.
I am a lizard.
It's possible.
I thought I was a lizard person.
You are.
Okay.
You're Daddy Lizard.
Yeah, Daddy Lizard.
Geez, okay.
So I like this. I think it's great.
No, thank you.
She's going to kill us all.
She hasn't already.
Well, this was the most interesting viewing of this episode I've ever had. The first time I saw it was when it aired on TNT at the end of the series. And I've watched this episode a lot. And it's pretty poignant, especially as we get farther and farther along from it when it aired. And we are seeing a lot more of these people pass away. And so it gets more and more poignant. And for me, the scene where the friends get together before his passing is a really good one to watch, but really good to watch as well. And I always use Sheridan's line whenever I am talking about an absent friend, where he says, may they be in memory still bright. So it's a little rough of an episode, unless I'm watching it with all you assholes. Then it's not so much.
Did you expect any less from this year?
No. Go ahead.
I told you before it started, I was having a case of the giggles. All right, you're given warning.
Yes. And then we were all hopped up on your cheesecake.
Yes, I do what I can.
What about this thing?
Bless you. Excuse you.
Too,
and then you need to get yourself together.
One thing, Justin, you mentioned you were happy to see Ivanova again. So how this episode came about is it was actually filmed season 4.
No shit.
Because they did not know if there was going to be a season 5. So that's why Lockley is not in this, because Lockley didn't exist.
Oh.
And Claudia Christian's in it because she was still under contract. So this was the last episode that she filmed.
Hi.
So when they found out that TNT was picking up season 5,
they didn't air that.
They just put this in the can and waited for it to be the series.
And then they put in Moments of Fallen Star, or Deconstruction of Fallen Stars
in its place.
Which they made, which is why it didn't have the full cast in it either, was because they made it, technically that's season 5 production order 1.
Yes.
That then they slapped on the end of season 4.
Which is why Claudia Christian isn't in that episode. Because at that point she was off the contract.
Okay.
And why everything in season 5 feels like it's completely unnecessary.
Including that episode.
I like that episode.
I know you do. How's it feel to be wrong?
We don't know, Kevin. How does it feel?
Oh, boy. Here we go.
This is very weird, having everybody in the same room.
Because
I'm like within striking distance of Kevin right now.
What do you think I sat all the way over here?
Started the day out with some bullshit. Still deserves a throat punch. Not do that.
The other thing that is poignant about this is obviously we're ending this 2-year journey where we've all not thrown any punches at anybody.
Yes.
Jessi.
Verbally.
And so watching this episode this time, it obviously has a more poignant piece, at least for me.
I agree.
But also, I gave out Christmas gifts after we watched the episode. And so with that, JMS sent over his hardcover of Becoming Superman, his autobiography, and signed it for all of the cast of this show. So
yeah. Okay.
Can't help it.
So obviously we all expected I was going to cry in the episode. And at the end, I was crying. But then Scott handed us the envelopes.
Yeah.
And I opened it. And I looked at the book and I'm like, oh my God, you got the book. And then I open it and I see Nicole and then his autograph. I'm like,
not Scott's autograph.
Yeah, JMS's autograph. So I open the book and I see my name and then his autograph. And I just go, he wrote my name. And I just start bawling. So thank you, JMS, for making me cry.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. That was awesome.
I will say that when Scott handed out the envelopes, I'm pretty sure all of us are who gave him the stroke. I honestly thought it was our share of the medical bill.
Yeah. Let's go.
I was hoping it was a copy of the book. I didn't expect it to be signed. And then I see the signature. I'm like, son of a bitch, I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, maybe you should have been nicer to his show.
Okay, well, I could have been nicer if Sheridan had been less annoying. Okay.
I think I agree, because I felt that the envelope, and clearly as a child, I figured out what was inside the packages.
Yeah.
And I figured it was the book, but
I thought Scott bought them first.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I was the first one to notice that the signatures were in there, because I turned around and looked at Scott and I'm like, are you for real? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, no, not like, stop fucking around. Like, it's that. And it gave me chills. Somebody that doesn't even have feelings. So we're here.
I was speechless, and that's very difficult to do.
Right.
I got it, and I was confused because I don't read good.
Yeah. I think we were all in shock.
Pictures,
Yeah. We were all in shock. It was very cool. Very, very cool.
Anyone want to discuss the episode? Anything you want to add?
he died. We're good. We're moving on.
But I don't think it was that sad because I felt like, well, one, we expect it, but also isn't that like in the end he went where he wanted to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
So
Jessi keeps saying he died. He didn't die.
Well, if we go back to
Where the fuck did he go then?
one of those, well, hang on, I'm getting there. So one of those earlier episodes when Lorian was talking about all this, the instruction was at the end, go back to where it all began.
It was when, it was Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Day of the Dead.
Kosh sent him the message.
Yeah, that's right. Kosh sent the message in the Mercury Day of the Dead. At the end, go back to where it all began.
Yeah.
That's why he went back to the Coriana.
No,
that's why he went back to the Coriana system, because that's where they beat the shadows.
That was the start of the third age of mankind.
Yep.
Yes. So I will say
now that's the message that Kosh sent at the Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
I will say I thought it was very kind of a beautiful send-off. I mean, obviously it was sad because, he was dying, but like the way that they did it was very tasteful, I thought, and very kind of beautiful and symbolic. Again, I'm the softie, I'm the sucker, I'm the sentimental one.
Yes.
But I thought it was very it was a grand send-off in a way. And to me, obviously, yes, I thought it was sad, but I also thought it was beautiful the way that they did it. He was with the people he loved. And then he went out in his own way, in his own, he just did it obviously he followed the direction to go where it started, but he just knew that he wanted to do it this way. He didn't want it to be a spectacle. He didn't want everyone to cry over his body. I don't know. I just thought he was I'm just going to do this. He had the choice to kind of do it how he wanted to. And I thought that was really cool.
Let's pause for just a moment.
Train.
Choo-choo train.
Which is appropriate for this podcast. We have a train right through the middle of it.
Bang, bang, choo-choo
Where's
train.
the fireworks? And we were just talking about the Vorlons, too.
We mentioned Vorlons, and there's a train.
Hi, Popeye.
Ted, what do you think?
Because that mic will pick that was.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to pick up some EVPs, too, while we're at it.
Come here, buddy.
I'm waiting for the video playback, and we just see something behind us going, what the fuck?
Yeah, don't show it to
Just kind of walks back and goes, the fuck?
Right.
Shit, I'm out of here.
These motherfuckers are too weird for me.
I want to love you.
This reminds me, maybe stop talking to the dog while we're recording.
Darn it. Pause.
Every freaking minute.
We're on a pause.
No, we're not. You were doing it earlier.
Was I?
Yes.
Sorry.
How damn, Reese.
I'm sitting over here through half the episode, and you're talking to me like I'm the dog.
Radio professional.
I can't help it if there's a dog in there. I lose my brain. I lose my brain.
Yes.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Sorry, Ted, I can't talk to you.
Over.
Train's done.
On the trash with the horns going.
Yeah.
Was it really necessary to blow up B5 though? How in the way is it actually?
Yeah, no, completely unnecessary.
But it fulfilled the
Someone just wanted to go boom today.
Yeah.
Fulfilled the prophecy. It signs importance. It was going to blow up.
Well, yeah, I really like the
Well, they didn't want it to fall into nefarious hands either.
I suppose it's like the White Star that Sheridan abandoned in the middle of nowhere.
That was found too.
Yeah, a few days later. They didn't find him all corpseified and gross in the captain's chair.
Oh yeah, my turn. So didn't DS9 kind of do the same damn thing?
Oh my fucking god!
I don't know. I've never seen that show.
Like who?
Just
can't talk about it.
No. Yeah, you're about to spoil the shit out of my next podcast.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Jesse, we're going to need you to leave the room now.
Fucking remember that, so it's fine. Can't remember the goddamn name of it. I keep calling it DS5.
I just feel like I'm on another Babylon 5 Facebook forum. It's the same show.
No, I guess I should say I kind of appreciate that, with the character of Sheridan, he chooses to.
What is that?
It's just cheap. Sorry. He's trying to be a good boy.
Oh yeah, that's a squeak.
As he walks, he's like shaking his ass.
He's gonna
lay right there in front of Blake
and squeak it.
Actually,
Sean, take it.
I think the dog.
It's fine.
Blake.
Just going.
All right, squeaky squeak, motherfuckers.
You hear a squeak? That's Jesse's fucking dog.
It's me.
It's
Ted.
Is he fucking?
He's having a great time. In case anybody's wondering.
It's my foot.
Yes, for everyone listening, Blake's foot does make that noise.
I thought that was your knee making that noise.
That's for the Rice Krispie sound.
Oh no. He's like, that's the sweet right there.
Oh yeah,
sorry, buddy. Listen, I don't even have the heart to take it from you.
He's like, squeak for me, baby.
Just ignoring me.
We're going. Yeah, well.
It's a hamster, in case anybody's wondering.
You know who also like hamsters? Richard Gere.
Cool.
So
where were we?
Okay, so can I just, who was talking?
I don't know.
Go ahead, Jessi.
Okay, so squeak, 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 squeak. I wanted to fit in.
This is what happens when we do things live.
Right.
Stop interrupting your mother.
Oh.
Okay.
He looked at you all sad.
He's like, fuck you, I'm gonna keep chopping.
No. He's a really good dog.
I
He's
guess
really
we won't be
quiet.
talking about the fireworks in the echo chamber at my house anymore.
It's done because you can't see it, but Blake is broken.
What a way to close out the podcast. The same crazy shit we started with.
Yeah.
We went back to where it all
The dog's
began.
being good. Just leave him alone. Just ignore him.
We're making Blake cry.
Oh, well.
Scott's gone too.
This is you guys' dream. Are we living it out here?
A dream getting forward.
You finally made
You made him cry. It feels so good.
Oh, no.
Hey, this was prophesied
Yes, it was.
earlier today.
Why did that fly out here?
Which one we were gonna break? And we broke both at the same fucking time.
And the dog stopped squeaking, so now we can start talking.
Oh, you gotta start it. You're right.
Yeah.
Listen, am I the only one
Yes.
that would have been pissed? Yes, probably, except for the other women in the room. Pissed off that he spent his last 12 fucking hours alive by himself without me. I'd have been mad.
I mean, she's
Yeah, a little bit.
She did say they had 20. She did say they had 20 years to prepare.
I understand that.
And I mean, I get like, listen, God forbid if something ever happened to my partner, I don't want to be there. Like, I mean, I do what you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to watch someone I love die. I've done that.
Having done that, I'd rather
if it would make them and comfort them and make them feel better to do something, I would rather do what she did. Say goodbye, remember him the way he is. Yeah, in a way I would be kind of pissed, like, you don't want to be with me, but also like I've been in the room with somebody when they die, and I don't ever want to do that again.
Yep, I'm gonna start a fucking fight. Let's just be clear. The last 12 hours he's alive are gonna be spent arguing with me about why he doesn't love me. So just for all clear, you're all welcome.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you did see how devastated she was, though.
Yeah.
Even knowing that it was the time, because that scene where she curled up and just kind of hugged his pillow, and just you could see that she was just kind of broken in that moment. So.
You're killing my dog.
Like, kill him? You want me to kill him? Dog. He looks like a fucking evil.
He does.
Are you going to adjust the heat again? Try that now. Okay.
Don't use the door.
And he goes the other direction.
Still in here,
Now he's
Kevin.
gonna use the fucking handle again.
Oh, you touch that door, I'm gonna beat your ass.
See, he's looking for.
He's so Get it, Ted. Get it, buddy.
The one next to the door.
I did not understand that it was in the room.
There's going to be more.
Buddy.
There's going to be the fucking cut reel is going to be longer than the episode at this point.
Why does Garibaldi look as old as everyone else? Like, I didn't feel like they aged him as much as like Franklin with the graying of the
Garibaldi
hair.
ages like a fine wine,
Well, I mean,
like other bald men in this room.
and that's the whole thing. He's bald. So Franklin's aging was gray hair.
Yeah, that's true.
That's everybody. Right.
They had done some work to onto his face.
Yeah.
It's actually funny because now we've seen Claudia at the same age 20 years later. The old age makeup, she's better without it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's way hotter now.
Yes.
Actually,
And she's
20
at that
years later.
age.
It's
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
You're seeing her now.
She had some crow's feet. And I'm just like, no, that's not what Claudia looks like.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Before we move on completely from Sheridan, the thing I was trying to say before is I want they really did the some fucking damn.
He doesn't want you to talk, Mike.
Apparently.
No, just keep going.
Really important
This content.
Yeah.
Come to us.
Whatever.
No, I want to hear what you had to say.
You're chewing your toe now.
It was to me. It was the parallels between Sheridan taking the White Star and riding out to sea, or like the way that like an older wolf in the pack swims out to sea because they don't want to be a burden on the rest of the pack.
Yes.
That was very much the thought behind Sheridan's decision to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He laid the whole thing out very tactically, strategically for the win. But
yeah.
Stop, Mike.
Yeah, thanks.
Never get that.
Anyway,
Please.
I just really hung up on the fact that the Soul Hunters didn't come and take Sheridan. He wasn't that.
Wasn't that?
Sorry.
The ghosts!
Now if you pause it, it just randomly restarts.
Enough of your shit. So
House ghost.
Dog.
he can't.
Hi. How are you?
He is fantastic. Just jumping away.
Now would you like me to take the sweet toy away?
Yes.
Kind of, sort of.
I asked that 10 minutes ago.
But I didn't want to.
All right, I'll be the asshole. I'm sorry, buddy.
Anybody else have anything they want to add? Justin?
I just want to say the one thing I thought was, because I know we talked about people being sad about the station blowing up and stuff like that, but actually I thought him walking around Babylon 5 by himself, got to me a little bit more than that. And then learning that it's going to be decommissioned, that it's going out, and like him just taking one last look around. And actually, I love the scene between him and Zach.
Yeah.
When Zach shows up and looks like he was walking like he sat on the toilet for a little too long. But I think that was actually one of my favorite scenes of the episode, to be honest with you, is that scene of him just walking around by himself on Babylon 5 and taking one last look at it.
Yeah.
It was really clever, too, because I wondered at first, like, oh, Zach didn't get invited to the dinner. That's kind of shitty. And then it's like, you get the explanation of, like, he was invited to the dinner. Yeah. He just wasn't there to get the invite.
And everybody at the dinner was like, Zach didn't fucking show up. What an asshole.
But luckily, this coincidence, they ran into each other and still got to have their little moment.
Yeah, I'm glad that they did, because I think that would have been
makes more sense
sad
for Zach to be on the station.
Yeah.
Am I the only person who thinks Zach actually became one of my favorite characters as the show went on?
No, I agree.
Where as much as we love Garibaldi in the security role, I think, to me, when I think of the head of security at Babylon 5 now, I'm going to think Zach more than anything.
We talked about this season 2-ish or 3. Jeff Conway was supposed to only do a couple episodes, and he earned his place on that show because he did so well that they kept having him come back, and finally he became a regular. So yeah, I think that point, because it definitely is the actor and the character both.
Well, I was going to jump into just with the whole Babylon 5 scenes, JMS being the one to flip the switch at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved that.
That was cool. So
that was cool. For sure.
I honestly think that we could have skipped every single season or episode in season 5.
Every season?
No. Contrary to popular belief, I actually enjoyed most of season 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I could have done without all of the fucking entire season 5. Everything. And just this episode alone, if we would have put it after the last one on episode season 4, there we go. I haven't had that much to drink.
It's just a whole bottle of Prosecco.
Over 3 hours.
Okay, continue.
Rude. I would have liked to just see this one and not the rest of season 5.
Backstory on season 5 a little bit. So one, again, they didn't know if there was going to be a season 5. So a lot of what season 5 was supposed to be got compressed into season 4. And so then they had to extend out season 5.
Right.
And the other fun part is JMS would write the episode themes and ideas on post-it note or note cards. So
I thought it was Teddy.
You're a ghost.
Sorry.
And so he had plans for each episode written out. Well, he was at a con sometime after season 4, before season 5, left it at the hotel, and by the time he realized he left a book at the hotel, the maid had thrown it out. So then he had to restart season 5 from scratch.
Well, I feel bad now about talking shit about JMS's series. I hated season 5. I hated it.
I think this episode would have actually made us feel something had it been the end of season 3, but we've suffered through season 5 and we're just
I don't think it was that bad.
So much happened.
Oh my god,
through
Byron.
season 4. And it was like by the 5th or 6th episode in season 4, we had moved through 1,000 plot lines. And just because so much happened in season 4, season 5 very much felt like filler, because we didn't know this was going to happen. Filler. I found nothing of value in season 5. I know that other people enjoyed it, but I literally could have ended with season 4 in this episode and beat that.
If JMS had known that there would have been a season 5 from the get-go, he has said that the break from season 4 to season 5 would have been the episode where Sheridan is being interrogated, where he's on his own.
Yeah.
The sandwich episode. That would have been the end of season 4.
That would have,
and then you're moving to season 5.
Yeah, that would have worked a lot better.
And then obviously you would have extended out the Earth Civil War a little bit more.
The Shadow War a little bit more, probably.
Well, the Shadow War was done.
Oh, okay. That's already over.
Yep. Yes. Kevin.
Yes.
I think it's it's unfortunate that it's really obvious that season 4 is compressed to the point where it's a little bit less enjoyable. And credit where credit's due, that none of that is JMS's fault, certainly, because you just you have PTN, which
didn't exist anymore.
Yeah. And you're not sure if anyone else is going to pick it up. You don't know if you're going to get that other season. It was still exceptionally good. You can just kind of tell. And then you get to season 5, and a lot of folks don't care so much for the Byron storyline, which I agree. And but after the Byron thing is over, there are some good episodes in there, at least in my opinion, that I think are definitely worth it. But the Byron stuff is really no one's favorite. It's an easy thing to pick on, but I think having just watched it again, it's even more clear to me.
I was going to say, I actually think the beginning of season 5 starts off relatively strong, because I enjoyed the storylines about kind of the struggles of the fledgling alliance and trying to hold everything together, not to mention, the further development of where Londo is going in the wake of the Shadow War. It's unfortunate that, there are a lot of highs and really... There are really highs and really lows in season 5, and the whole thing just kind of, I feel like, does have a tendency to wash out, because a lot of what you watch in season 5 ultimately feels like just filler, the virus. And there were good episodes in there too. We got a lot more Walter Koenig as part of that, which ultimately kind of was left unsatisfying in that.
Where's Lita? Why was Lita not here?
Well, keep in mind too, and we've dogged on this a lot, but there was a spin-off show called Crusade. Oh. It only lasted 13 episodes because it was bad. But so a lot of this stuff that happened in the interim of that would have been dealt with, like the telepath war and a lot of other things would have been dealt with, at least in part, through that spin-off series. And then also in book form and everything else too. So JMS was trying to keep some of those storylines back for later.
Sure.
And just to mention, not because Scott couldn't talk about this better than me, but Crusade was bad because TNT effed with it really bad and really was trying to kill because they weren't getting the ratings that they wanted to and the audience crossover that they wanted to. So they were just like, all right, well, we're just going to take this because we have a contract for it. So we're going to have to cancel it with bad ratings and the fact that it's a crappy show. And that's what they made sure to happen.
You'll read about it in his book because he bitches about it a lot.
Because part of what they did, what'd you say? Choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
Oh, wait.
That's okay. Teddy's drinking too, so it's a good time. Good job, Teddy.
Good job, Ted. You're doing great.
The horns are done. No.
You were saying?
I was being hopeful.
You have to listen to this all.
Doesn't bother me.
I have to live in my basically the backyard.
I lived right next to a train track.
Same.
It's actually kind of comforting.
It is. It's relaxing.
I didn't even hear it. And I'd be playing video games and somebody'd be like, God damn, is that train right outside your window? I'm like,
literally, yes.
And I didn't hear it.
So what's unfortunate is that the last picture is even closer to the train.
Yes.
So you're in the middle of watching a movie at the theater. Train comes rolling through.
Okay, we'll give this a try.
Okay.
So, and even with the studio interference, it was so bad they were rearranging episode order. So if you watch it, it makes no sense because they rearranged things. There's the notes they sent, the things they wanted were just absolutely unhinged with it. But to get to your answer with Lita and Lanier, and we've talked about this Beyond the Rim. I know we've not brought it up on the show, but there was a novel that basically very briefly touched on what happened. And basically Lita and Lanier met up, somehow got into the telepath war and blew up Psychor headquarters.
In a blaze of glory.
In a blaze of glory.
Oh, so they both died.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
And on the Bester front, in the book, not the same book, Bester lives to an old age, and Garibaldi continues to try to hunt him down. Finally, Bester gets arrested because Garibaldi is able to capture him. And the end of Bester is Garibaldi drinking over his grave.
Oh.
Do you think that Lita did what she said she was going to and never erased the block? I wonder.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else pissed we didn't see David? We never got to see him, did we?
A definite thing over the years that fans have talked about, and we were openly wondering if we would see David in Road Home because we saw the cast list before, and there was a voice actor cast for David Sheridan. We're wondering which David Sheridan it was, and of course it ended up being his father and not his son.
Could he have been one of the Rangers delivering the envelopes?
Well, they said he was off at Ranger training.
Oh, okay, so no.
Well, all of them were straight human.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he was a hybrid himself.
None of them were young enough either to be 17.
Yeah.
I'm very sad we never got to meet David.
That was another saved plot point that never got dealt with. In the original idea for the first show, which we discussed on another episode that you guys weren't part of, David was an idiot savant and led the universe as a idiot. I don't know. What was it?
I think we compared it to Dune. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, like a Paul Atreides type character? That honestly wouldn't surprise me.
After the worm.
Yeah, after the worm.
Spoilers for Messiah. It gets blocked. Anybody else got anything?
Right. It felt empty a little bit, like
your holes?
Yeah.
Wow.
What? Oh my God, John. Here, buddy.
There's your chance, Jessie. Go ahead.
Jessie, I need to move off the couch for a minute.
My house was empty. It's not empty, sir. There's skin and
Oh, goodness.
Never know. Please do. God damn it.
Show yourself.
The dog's following you.
Dog's gonna help my leg.
You deserve it. He's gonna stop him.
This is what you get, fucker.
Baby Jesus.
I hope you leave.
Just for the record, he doesn't know what my hole is like.
I'm one of the few.
Jesus, show me. Does anybody here know what my hole looks like? Not a single one, motherfucker.
She's gonna murder you.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna go, baby.
Leave my dog. The few.
I don't fancy having to fill out.
Oh boy. Okay.
Like,
Maybe an anything. Like,
need a police interrogation.
Everybody
Someone
stop.
get me back to midway in the morning.
God.
Maybe I did.
For those listening at home, snake milkers carry guns sometimes.
Oh God.
Yep.
Okay. Any other comments about my hole you'd like to make before I continue on?
I know. I'm gonna get you all bitey. Yeah.
I've never seen Scott this right.
Welcome back to Grey 17, a Babylon 5 podcast. We've had a change of hosts.
The other one is
Somebody keep an eye on Scott's blood pressure, please.
Yeah.
Smell like a sack of garbage.
Final.
Have fun editing this shit, Scott.
There will be no editing. It's just this.
Oh my God.
Looks like you I don't have a whole bitch. It's the Duke.
It's bigger than any of ours.
Done.
I'm not just
Freud was right.
There are no accidents.
I'm done.
So, how do you think I have a nephew?
Damn motherfucker, you said I wouldn't see tears near there. Okay.
We never said how we'd get them.
So nice seeing all of you. And thanks for listening.
It's a good boy. He's supposed to.
What were you gonna actually say?
I don't fucking know.
It was.
Would you like some more wine?
So it's pretty full then, right?
Jesus.
Oh God.
All right, let's bring this fucking thing in for a land.
Plane.
Guys, it started all this. God damn. All right, please go.
Right.
I didn't like the episode because I wished I would have seen like Ricard and Londo, and I understand that they died, but if you don't remember how they died, then you don't remember how they died. And it sucks. Anyway, moving on. That's what I was going to say.
We saw them die.
Which of them died though?
3 times.
They killed each They choked each other.
Yeah.
In the
What
beginning,
season was that?
1, 3,
1, 3, and 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So you had to be paying attention 3 different times?
yes.
Yeah,
Okay, good talk.
literally same scene.
Let's I thought it was a fucking dream. Like, okay.
Yes,
it is.
But it's what happened.
Clearly, I have to go back now that I'm not a fucking noob anymore. I can go back and watch it all over again and understand, but I don't know. Maybe. All right. Anyway, good talk.
And in that scene, we see Veer pick up the Emperor's little doily and put it on.
Hello, sir.
So did Veer have a keeper?
Nope.
So why didn't Veer get a keeper?
Was the Drock War over by then?
It's covered in books. It's kind of loosely covered that they got Veer. Basically, wasn't they got Veer out of there before?
Veer figured it out.
Veer figured it out.
Figured out that Londo had a keeper, and Londo kept him away to make sure he didn't get it afterwards as well too. So,
but you don't get that from the series.
No, you don't, because
all in books.
Yeah, it's an extended universe.
I couldn't read the books. Okay, here you go.
It's okay. No one can read the books because they're out of print and they're really fucking expensive to buy now.
Except in the beginning, that was $5.
Good talk, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that it kind of felt bad that Jakar and Londo being such pivotal characters in the rest of the series didn't really have any appearance in the final episode.
Stop talking to the fucking dog.
But I also get that since their endings aren't happiest, it kind of ruins the whole vibe of the final episode. And so I kind of understand why they mentioned them in name and then glossed right on by.
They did a toast to him. They didn't just like, oh, those guys. It was very sweet. What they said.
But then why did they mention Lita in their toast? Huh?
Because Lita wasn't their friend.
Sheridan never liked her.
That's true.
That's true.
And Lita kind of turned on everyone. So,
well, they treated her like
I know,
shit.
but I'm saying, like, why would if somebody turned on me, I wouldn't mention them at my fucking death celebration.
But
I'd be
Lanier
like,
gets mentioned.
Yeah, but Lanier was
season 5 hadn't happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
also
obviously he died, and even Moomy was like, okay, because they filmed this, and so he knows, okay, where is Lanier between now and 20 years from now? And JMS only told Moomy, it's okay. It's a heroic death. Don't worry about it. It's a heroic death. That's all he knew.
Well, and Dylan was the one who said it, not Sheridan.
Yeah, it wasn't Sheridan.
Yeah, I continue to be very annoyed by the whole Lanier storyline at the end. I mean, being a terrorist at the end. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Psychor, but blowing up Psychor headquarters isn't exactly my idea of heroism.
Oh, I disagree. They 100% deserve it.
Well, and to Jesse's point, you don't even see it on screens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you're a nerd, you don't even know that happens.
Fucking nerds.
I know. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. We will be back next week to do our live season 5 recap. Emily may not be here, but everyone else will be here. So you can join us live and chat with us about the episode and about the season and about the show. And be sure to click the notify button on YouTube so when we do go live, you know that it's happening and you can join us. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, leave a review. Not sure. Leave a review. Leave a review. We're continuing to add stuff as we go. We'll be doing the live. We'll be talking about some other stuff too. And, you never know. We may actually have some more stuff pop up here and there. So be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and continue to join us as we continue continuing.
Well said.
Love it.
Beyond the
As we all go beyond the rim.
Until next week, I've been Scott, and with me has been
Blake,
Buttholes, Jessi,
Emily,
Nicole,
Justin,
Kevin,
and Mike,
and Scott,
and Ted.
and Ted.
We did it.
Squeak, squeak.
Yay!
Thank you for listening to Grey 17, a Babylon 5 podcast. You can find all the places to listen to and watch this podcast at anchor.fm/Grey17podcast or youtube.com @Grey17podcast. We want to hear from you, so join the conversation at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or Patreon. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review where you are listening to or watching this podcast. Grey 17 is not affiliated with, and the podcast has not been prepared, approved, or licensed by Warner Brothers or any other owners of the Babylon 5 copyright. All clips included in this podcast are the intellectual property of the respective copyright holders. They are included here for purpose of review, and no infringement is intended. The opening and closing themes are available from Falling Matter on YouTube.
And what's out there?
The rim,
And beyond that?
the truth.
There's so much I still don't understand.
As it should be.